Hello everybody on YouTube, this is Super Nintendo. Welcome back to another episode of Oddworld Munch's Odyssey. In the last episode, we united... Or wait, no we didn't. We started trying to get back to the almighty Raisin. Or continued, or whatever. This time, we are going to get back there. But first, we have to run through a horde of paramites. Which, if you remember my Let's Plays of Abe's Odyssey and Abe's Exodus, you know how fun they are. Let's go.
Hey guys, you made it past the slog huts. Who'd have thunk it? Now to reach the Raisin, you need to run, son. And oh, don't let yourself become feed for the wildlife.
Okay, so, contrary to what I was saying, this actually isn't that big of a deal. All we really gotta do is just go through here and grab as much spruce as we can get along the way. With Munch and Abe. Because we need to get both characters to the end of the obstacle course, if you want to call it that. Honestly, I don't like how the, how paramites and scrabs have very little presence in this game. Like, I think this is the only level where you see paramites. And as for scrabs, I think you only see them in one level also. Which kind of sucks. Alright, so we need to get at least 39 more spruce as Abe. And because Abe can't move as fast with Munch with his thing, it means that we need the espresso. Sometimes jumping through there, the camera gets stuck on the terrain, which I don't understand why that's a thing in games. Like, legitimately, I don't get why that's a thing. Why is it that games will have the camera get stuck on stuff? Like, I don't understand the logic there. Because it's not like the camera is a physical thing that's following you. Like, I don't get how cameras in games get stuck on stuff. It don't make sense to me. It don't make sense. Not to me, anyway. Maybe there's some game designer guy watching these videos who can explain it to me. I don't know. Let's make sure to grab all this spruce. Which I think we actually have more than enough now, which is kind of cool. Also, Abe can get some major height from his jumps in this game compared to in the previous games. It also speeds him up for some reason, which I guess it makes sense. You're not having to deal with traction on the ground and stuff like that. I don't know. This episode isn't, this mission isn't too difficult.
It's about time, Stitchlets. I see you found our one-legged friend. You will help each other find what is most important to each of you.
I don't get it.
For you, my lonely Gabbit.
Huh?
If you ever see Gabbits again, it will be because you helped Stitch Lips save his unborn brothers from Viker's labs.
No. I'm not going back there.
Listen to me, Gadget Top, and you listen good. You will go to Viker's labs. There you will find Gabiar, the last can of this priceless dish. Gabbit eggs.
They eat our eggs? You know what's in a Mudakin pot?
Viker's labs is a most formidable fortress. It would seem impossible to break in. There is only one way. You must help a glukon. A most lazy and incompetent, pitiful excuse for a glukon. He is called Lulu. Huh? He is your key to enter Viker's labs. You must make Lulu rich. Filthy rich. For this is the only way he will rise to the status of Glockstar. Through this poor excuse for a being, you will acquire the fortune that wins back that last can of Gabiar. And you, Stitch Lips,
Me?
through Lulu, you will find your unborn brothers. Your destinies are together. Only together you will succeed. Help Lulu. And then...
That's it? That's the big message?
I never noticed before that in that little newspaper clipping that you can see Abe like possessing Lulu in order to make the Lulu Fund. I think that is really funny.
Hey, now you must help Lulu get rich. And your first victim is a greedy glutton who's gonna turn this Mudakin village into a Rupture Farms meat ranch. He's holed up down there in the cave below. Force him to donate his moolah to the Lulu Fund and save the meeps.
Okay, while we go around doing stuff in this area, something I would like to talk about is the audio quality of the cutscenes. In some of the cutscenes, the audio quality for this game is just complete dog shit. And I'm sorry about that, but there's not really much I can do about that because that's the audio quality of the Switch version. And I don't understand why. I feel like the Switch version was a very half-assed effort from Oddworld Inhabitants. I don't know if they're the ones who ported the game or if someone else did it, but it feels to me like Munch's Odyssey just kind of got a very half-assed effort, and I don't get why. But yeah.
The Mudakin meep herders are so depressed that they can't even herd their own meep. Gain their confidence by herding the meep back into their pens. You might want to try Munch in his wheelchair for this one.
Okay. So, to herd the meep, all you have to do is just do this with Munch. And their movements are a bit delayed, which kind of sucks if I'm going to be honest, but I don't know, like, this mission honestly just feels like it's padding. Like, this particular mission with herding these meep, like, it just feels like padding. There's no reason why this needed to be a thing. I mean, it doesn't take long when you know what you're doing, but, like, I don't know. This isn't like trying to herd the goats in Twilight Princess, where, like, it's a task that can be kind of fun and, like, there's something very substantial that comes from it. Like, here it just, I don't know. I feel like this did not need to be a thing. There's a meep over there that needs to be herded. Get over there with your brothers. No, you're not escaping. Go back in there. No. Go back in there with your brothers.
Whoa! You actually did it! You herded all the meep into their pen! So thrilling! Now, what are you waiting for? Get those whiny Mudokins to help you get that gluk meep rancher out of here! Don't forget to help out Lulu!
There's my buddy.
Yeah, I honestly don't know why the news that the Mudokins evolved from birds was such a shocking development to me when I heard about it in that interview with Cat Icarus and Lauren Lanning. Because looking back, it's actually kind of obvious. They have feathers in this game, and it's not like they're not said to be feathers. Like, they are said to be feathers, it's just, I don't know. Munch's Odyssey is like the one game in the franchise that, like, just eludes me a lot of the time whenever I am thinking about this franchise. Like, Munch's Odyssey, it's just, I don't know. I feel like it's an okay game. Like, it's okay. I wouldn't say it's necessarily bad. But, like, it's got a lot more going against it than for it. In my opinion. Like, the 3D platforming is just not all that great. I feel like the Switch version kind of fixes it a little bit, but the 3D platforming, it's not great. And a lot of the levels are just kind of filled with absurd amounts of padding. Or you're just kind of doing the same thing over and over and over again. And unlike the previous Oddworld games where things get more challenging as things go on. This game doesn't really get more challenging as it goes on. It just kind of gets more tedious with, like, more enemies that you have to defeat along the way. Let's get this guy over here, too. I almost always forget about him until after I've already killed those slogs over there.
How you doing?
Hey, what's happening, Ed?
You just hang here for a while.
Oh wait, did we... No, we didn't revive this one. See, this is another thing that I'm not really a big fan of, is the idea that there is a resurrection totem that can bring back Mudokons that have died. Because if this thing exists, why should I care if any of them die? Even, like, the scrubs. Like, I know in-game there is a reason, like, the scrubs are, like, the ones that can't be brought back. But, like, in-universe, why is that? Why can't they be brought back? Like, legitimately, why not? Is it because they're white Mudokons? I don't think so, because if one of these guys, the Tomahawk ones, die, they can be brought back with the resurrection totem. Like, it just feels like a very poorly thought out system.
You just hang here for a while.
From a series that's usually better thought out. And you, fucking dumbass.
Okay, listen up.
Hey, what's happening, Ed?
You just hang here for a while.
Now that we have all the Tomahawk guys, we just need to toss them over this little gate here. Like, doing this isn't necessarily hard. It's just tedious, especially when you have a ton of these guys. Like, there's not much reason for this to... I don't know. It's like, Abe can jump. Why can't these guys? Like, just have them be able to jump.
Hey, you jumps.
Like, that alone would fix a lot of this tediousness. And to be fair, in Soulstorm, they do kind of rectify that by giving them the ability to jump.
Okay, get to work.
Yeah, whatever. I'm gonna do it.
While they're doing that, let's get Munch over there.
Everybody listen.
Hey, what's happening, Ed?
Now let's go deep within the caves. Okay. Munch, you hang back. like, there's not even really that much to talk about here. It's just we're leading some Mudokons to go beat the crap out of some alien dogs. It's just waves after wave of, like, alien dogs. I like how they do kind of spawn in, though. You can see them just kind of fall in.
I'll be back. Don't you worry.
Yeah, sure. Whatever.
Alright. Now, we're able to possess a glukon who can't do anything but talk. And you probably can't even hear what he said because of Abe's stupid chanting. This pud of a junior executive is flat-ass broke thanks to you. Lulu thanks you for the kind donation. Alright. Let's move on to the next one.
A glukon chump has taken over a windmill and turned it into a microbrewery. Well, he's trying to anyway. Now, with false promises and plenty of brew, the native Mudokons in the area have all been turned into scrubs. Separate the chump from his change and rescue those scrubs.
Okay. So, if I remember correctly, and I probably don't, this is about as far as I got when I was a young lad. Back in the far-off year of, like, 2002. I was a very young boy, and, my cousin wasn't over very often because they lived a few states away. I mentioned this in the first episode, but I think this is as far as I got when I was a young boy. And as a result, like, this is more or less the end of my little stories that I had for, like, when I was younger. But, like, I did play this game when I did play this game a bit when I was a bit older. Around the time I was 18 or so, I got a original Xbox off of my aunt. And I managed to buy this game off Amazon, I want to say. And I did manage to play it. It took me a while to find all the Mudokons, because some of them are pretty well hidden. They're a lot less well hidden in this game compared to the previous ones, but like, I don't know. Whatever, we have enough spoos. Okay, so I'm gonna keep Munch right next to this thing just in case. So for this little bit, we have here our scrabs. And we need to move them somewhere where we don't have to deal with them anymore. In order to do that, we need to get ourselves a herd of scrabs. Alright. I think that's all of them. Probably not all of them. There's probably some of them that either didn't follow us or lost interest or something. Let's go and check just to make sure. No, I think we got them all. As you can see over there, there's a couple of sligs. Who need to be destroyed. Honestly, the lack of a fart button in Soulstorm, I feel like is a big, really big departure from the previous games. Like, it sounds stupid, and it kind of is, for me to be that, like, bothered by the lack of a fart button. But the thing is that Oddworld, I mentioned this in a previous episode, as well as a previous Let's Play, but Oddworld brings up extremely dark subject matter, and so to have this kind of stupid humor kind of offsets the darkness of what's being brought up. Because, like, as a kid playing through Abe's Exodus, for example, I didn't notice that the Mudokons were slaves, even though they were outright stated to be, because I was, like, 5 years old. And so, for me, like, I just saw them as silly alien people, and there was bad guys. And, the silly alien people like to fart all the time. Because farts are funny. Like, I'm making it seem more reductive than it actually is, but, like... God damn it. But I feel like the fart button is actually a very important component of the Oddworld series. And by removing it in Soulstorm, it feels like they lost a very important part of what makes Oddworld what it is. Not helped by the fact that the platforming itself was really, really bad. and like the game itself was incredibly glitchy for reasons, and I think part of it is on Sony, because I feel like Sony rushed development of a lot of PS5 games. Because, like, almost every PS5 game that I have played, like, games that were made for the PS5, almost every PS5 game that I've played has been incredibly glitchy, half broken, half finished messes. And I don't think that all of these developers are losing their touch all at the same time.
Okay, listen up.
I feel like it has to be Sony rushing them.
What are you doing?
It also kind of feels to me that the visuals of Soulstorm were put in higher priority than anything else. Like, Soulstorm's cinematics are... Don't get me wrong, the cinematics themselves are gorgeous. They are incredibly well detailed and realistic, but the gameplay feels like an afterthought. And it also doesn't help matters that the way they talk about Abe's Exodus, I feel is incredibly disrespectful to such an important game in the series.
Hey, you jumped.
Because the way that they talk about it is almost like they're ashamed of it. Or not ashamed of it per se, but more like they don't think very highly of it.
Okay, listen up.
It feels very much like they look back at Abe's Exodus and see it as just an unfinished mess, like unfinished, barely unique milestone in the series. Not even a milestone, really. Get over here. I don't know, just the way that they talk about it, I find it to be so disappointing from considering it is my favorite game in the series. I don't know. Well, I think that will do it for this episode. Next time on Oddworld Abe's Exodus, we are going to go through the fuel fields and maybe coerce some more glukon executives to give up their moolah. See you guys then.
That's nasty.
Set on the sinking square window!